This episode of SpectreSoundStudios is brought to you by Xvive Wireless. Hey everybody, greetings from sunny Hollywood, California. It's Friday, that means it's time for SMG Viewers Comments. Hope you're gonna have an amazing weekend. Let's get right to it.
Hello, my name is Jen, I'm the guitar player for Evanescence, and Glenn, I have one question. When I first got into recording, in professional recording in studios, people told me you first track the drums, then you track the bass guitar, and then the guitars and the vocals on top at the end. So when I recorded my first solo album, and also for my latest solo album, Insanity, the guy said, okay, first the drums need to be tracked, then the guitars, and then the bass. Why? And what kind of recording order progress do you prefer and why? And other than that, fuck you, Glenn.
Well, fuck you, Jen. But good question. So there's no actual answer to that. It really doesn't matter. That's how I kind of learned to is track the drums, then the bass, then the guitar, then the vocals. But more often than not, it winds up track the drums and then the guitar, then the bass. So the guitar player can show the bass line what the fuck to play. In your case on Insanity, because that was a shred record, the guitars are going to take precedence over pretty much everything. So I'm guessing the guy wanted to get the fattest possible guitar sound before trying to squeeze a bass in there one way or another. A lot of sessions I have these days will be where the band has transcribed all their songs out onto Guitar Pro, and then they'll come in and cut their tracks to that, more often than not with the drummer first, but not always. I did a couple records with Protocol where we did everything backwards. We did the guitars, vocals, then bass, then leads, and then finally the drums when the drummer finally decided to grace us with his presence. He did lay down some pretty stellar tracks though, so I was like, yeah, okay, you know what, it works. I'm not gonna bitch too much. It was really weird tracking guitars without any drums though. So, you know, whatever works. What I'd really like to see more of, though, is, you know, musicians playing off each other. That's where we track the band. I don't know, as a band? Call me weird. I kind of miss that, where we have the sound of musicians playing off each other and making music. I don't know, I think we need more of that.
My biggest pet peeve with new bands is drummers who take too long to set up and take down their shit on stage. And even worse, when they break it down into smaller pieces still on stage as if they have all the time in the world because their gear's more important than anything else for the entire show. And I'm a drummer, so I can say this.
Dude, I share your pain. Hey, if you're out there gigging and you're playing with a lot of new bands who are taking their sweet time getting their gear off stage, could you please play them this next clip? Hey asshole, get the fuck off the stage! You don't have to break down your entire kit just into pieces that you can move. Other people need to get their shit the fuck on the stage so they can play their show. No, you're not more important, and no, your band is not the center of the fucking universe. Seriously, guys, if you're sharing the stage with other bands, show them the respect they deserve by getting the hell out of the way. You know what, though? And reach out and see if you can help them as well. I've made friends with bands back in the early 90s, and I still keep in touch with those guys to this day because there are common interests and common likes. So always reach out to the other bands and try and be helpful. Don't be a dick.
Seriously, man, love your opinion, but Rob Scowen has the personality of an old shoe. My ass would shit out better content than that fake turd.
Oh, you're gonna do better content than Rob Scowen, easily one of the best music channels on YouTube. Yeah, you know what? Okay, great. Bring it. Put up or shut up. Let's see this incredible content. It's one thing to say you can do it, it is another thing to deliver the goods. You know what, Rory? We're all going to be waiting with bated breath. Blow us away, man. Be as awesome as you say you are going to be, because I really want to see that.
Thanks for the eyes, Glenn. What a great present. Glad to have supported you in the past, and I look forward to doing so again soon. Cannot wait for your mixing on headphones video, since that's what I'm stuck with right now. Looking forward to your advice.
Well, you know, I did a poll there last week, and about 60% of you guys are mixing on headphones. That was kind of shocking, to be honest with you. So tell you what, I'm going to sit down with some other engineers here in town, and we're going to see what we can come up with for a viable headphone mixing solution, what recommendations we can make. So I'm going to do some homework. I'm going to grab some different headphones and see what it's like to mix on those. because I want to come up with a solution that's going to work for you guys and help you get your mixes to translate into the real world. I'm very interested to see where this is going to go, so please stick with me. It's going to get interesting.
Wow, this one episode is pretty long. Do more episodes like this. It is really worth the time.
Which brings me to this week's poll question. Do you guys like the longer format episodes? I mean, like last week's was a half hour. I've never done a viewer's comments that long. If you guys like where things are going, yeah, please let me know. I'm going to make a poll question. Can't remember what corner it's supposed to be, but hit that. Do you like the longer episodes? Yes or no? I'd really like to hear some feedback from you guys as well in the comments below. So if you like the longer episodes, let me know.
Hey Glenn, your new place sounds different unless you're using another mic. There's a bit more low mid in your voice. It sounds a bit more like a radio voice.
Well, hey, Nels, there's a whole bunch of different factors at play here. First off, this room is incredible. A lot of platinum records have been done in here. I'm using a different signal chain. We're using a Neve 1073 back there. And there's also an 1176 and an LA2A running in series with each other. And that's what's helping give the great big vocal sound. I'm also transmitting wirelessly to that setup right now. That seems to be working out pretty well. It's the U3 wireless system I demoed a few weeks back. Just wanted to show you guys that, yes, I can do an episode of viewers' comments using that system, and it's going to do its job pretty damn good. You can check a link in the description below. Now, normally I do my show with an Octava MC012 back at Spectre, but down here I've got the Lewitt small diaphragm condenser, which is part of the Beat Pro kit, and this thing is a freaking major monstrosity of a mic. And yeah, it's definitely got a slightly fatter sound than the Octava. Very cool stuff.
Hey Glenn, I'm feeling stuck, lost, and I could use some advice. A few months ago, I was working as a programmer and making pretty decent money, enough to fully self-fund my solo project EP, but I got laid off before I could finish. Since then, I've been working on a minimum wage job since it's insanely difficult for beginner programmers to find work, and I haven't been able to afford going to the studio in almost a year. Do you have any advice for what I should do?
Well, dude, unfortunately, I don't have an easy answer for you other than, watch the want ads, but I will say this, Lancaster Audio is hiring. We're looking for programmers. We're also looking for people who do Facebook marketing and ClickFunnels, that sort of thing. So if you know somebody who's looking for work, please hit me up via the Spectre Media page and just fill out a contact form and let me know what your area of expertise is, and hopefully we can get in touch with you and just see if we might be able to work together, because we're looking to expand this year. So if you got the skills, we're interested in talking to you.
Hi Glenn, cheers from France. I love your video, you learned me so much, mostly about the compression. And my question is about acoustic treatments. I want to put bass traps on my room, but my room is kind of badly architected. Here is my window and the heating, and right here is my freaking door. So how am I doing? How I put bass traps? Thanks you Glenn, and fuck you from a French bass player.
Okay, great question. I showed this to Alex Nasla from Gear Gods, who works behind the scenes on a lot of stuff. And, we kicked around a bunch of ideas. And the first thing you got to remember is you can do acoustic treatment that you can move. So if you have to have it with the corner where your door is, just remember, you can move it out of the way once your mixing session is done. So if you check out my video on how to build your own bass traps, just remember, you can mount it on a mic stand and just slide it out of the way at the end of the day. The one thing I did notice in that shot is you've got a Green Day flag kind of draped over your heater. I don't know how much heat that thing throws off, so please proceed with caution. I don't want to hear some story about some poor kid who died in a fiery accident because he didn't understand the dangers of heaters. So please, please, please be careful with that, putting anything near that. Another thing to keep in mind is you can put your bass traps behind your speakers. Let's say if you've got your desk sitting here, you got monitors here, you can put them in the corners that are behind your speakers, and they will do a tremendous job right there. Once again, I don't have a complete picture of what your setup is like, so I can't give you a full recommendation. All I can say is, hey, try building a couple and moving them around into different spots in the room and see what works. Best of luck, dude. Thanks so much, and thanks for sending the video question. That was pretty cool.
Regarding treating the room versus headphones, I just have to add, sometimes treating a room isn't simple an option. And also, in some circumstances, like shared accommodation or flats with wafer-thin walls, you simply cannot use high enough volumes to use monitors effectively at all.
Au contraire, mon frère. As I just stated, you can make temporary room treatment without marking up your walls. And the thing about monitors loud enough, how loud are you monitoring? Here's the thing, when you crank your monitors up, you create ear fatigue. So it's best off to monitor at low volumes, not high volumes. So I don't know where you got that idea from, but it totally screws up the equal listening curve when you crank stuff up. So don't monitor loud, and if you're doing it, turn your shit down. Chances are you'll save your ears and you won't piss off your roommates. So instead of writing a whole bunch of stuff about why you can't do it, here's an idea. Try and figure out how you can. You'll have better results.
Hey Glenn, do you think that soffit mounting is worth the hassle?
Well, when I built Spectre, I would have said yes. But after being in that room for, countless years, and after getting the monitors from KS Digital, I'm going to say maybe not. The thing is, those soffits also work as gigantic bass traps, so having them on the stands works really well because the traps are behind them. I do feel I can hear things a bit clearer with them close up like that. They are designed to be near-field monitors, not mid-field, so there is that. The monitors we got in here, the Genlex, are phenomenal, and a lot of really big records have been mixed in here, and they're not on soffits either. I know Warren doesn't monitor on soffits, so I can't give you a definitive answer either way. It really depends on you and what works for you. So far, I've been getting some spectacular results out of this room, so you know what? Maybe not.
I have a daughter with another baby on the way, and for some reason, I'm fixated on the importance of making sure they learn music. I'm 32 and haven't attempted to learn anything since I was 13, so I have no idea where to start. I'm considered using something like Rocksmith on my Xbox so I can kind of learn while teaching as a sort of shared dad-daughter thing. Do you have any recommendations or a couple of do's and don'ts? Cheers.
Yeah, I would highly recommend getting Rocksmith. I think it's a fantastic learning tool, and if you want to learn with your daughter, I think that's a phenomenal idea. Yes, go for it. I know I would have killed to have something like Rocksmith when I was a teenager. God, I'm sounding like my fucking parents right now. Seriously, though, I think Rocksmith's an amazing tool. And if you can spark that creative edge in your kids, fucking go for it, man. Best of luck to you.
Side note, put a strip of duct tape on your gear cases and write your band name where it's easy to see when your gear is stacked together with that of 3 other bands.
Fantastic idea. Duct tape can do a lot of wonderful things, and make impromptu labels is definitely one of them. If you have time, get a label maker with like reflective yellow tape, and you can label all your stuff that way too. Another point was my very good friends in Assassinate the Following, and you guys playing live gigs might want to pay attention to this one. Used to mark all their cables with this bright blue tape, so it was easy during teardown if they were playing a club, or if they were playing somewhere that didn't have its own PA, they had to bring something. They could wire up all their stuff and tear it down, and there wouldn't be any shouting matches at the end of the gig because they could easily identify what was theirs. Definitely check out some brightly colored tape. If you're gigging, it will save you a whole lot of grief.
Hi Glenn, have you ever used this preamp? It's the best for bass, blended with a DI of course. And I have something else to tell you. Τράβαγε γαμίσου.
Yeah, don't really know what that was, but I can take a wild guess. I recorded with the Tech 21 bass SansAmp, like the pedal version of that, for years and years and years. And you know what? Everybody uses it. It's good, but Owen Gibbons had a great point there last year. He said, that's when records started to get stale, is everybody, everybody's kind of using this and there's no more air on the bass. To me, the best thing ever for bass for recording is simply the dark glass head with the cabinet mic'd up with a nice large diaphragm condenser. Wow, holy crap. Don't get me wrong, the Tech 21 SansAmp driver is very nice, but the dark glass bass amp is probably the best solution for recording bass I've ever come across in 20 years of recording bass. So if you want to know what to get for awesome bass tone, get the dark glass. It's freaking amazing.
Glenn, I'm gonna be real with you. I have a Line 6 Spider 4 75 watt that I'm absolutely ashamed of owning. At one point, I was so frustrated to just fucking throw it out the window because of how bad it sounds. I've been trying to reach a Parkway Drive style tone with it, and it sounds like a bunch of bees swarming a nest when it comes to the metal channel. Please, Glenn, what's another amp that is good for metal that can project over drums and also within a $600 budget?
Jet City amps, I think, are like serious bang for the buck. You might be able to get a lunchbox, a 20 watt or maybe a 40 watt or something like that, and a cabinet. 2x12 should do you fine. You might want to take a look at the offerings from Thomann. Check out the Harley Benton cabs, that kind of thing. You can probably get a 2x12 shipped over for like $100 or something like that. And they're only like 150 euros for the cabinet, and they mount real vintage 30s. I think that with the Jet City amp would probably be exactly what you're looking for. Just throw an overdrive in front of it and you're in business, man. Good luck, dude. I really hope that works out. I want to get some Jet City stuff on the show. I want to try it out because I've heard a lot of fantastic things and about the whole brand and their whole bang for the buck mantra. We'll see what happens. NAMM's coming up. If they're there, I'm going to see if I can hunt them down and talk to them about possibly doing something together because I think it would be really freaking cool.
A ton of us in the arts got picked on as kids and young adults. Just remember, why should I change the way I'm living because you're an asshole?
I think a lot of us would be a lot happier if we just learned how to live our life and be happy for ourselves and stop worrying about what people we don't like think about us.
Hey Glenn, if a drummer goes to your studio and has towels, shirts, duct tape on the drums to muffle, do you make them take it off? And if so, does this apply everywhere? Thanks!
Well, hey Ed, that's a phenomenal question. Here's the truth. I bought a DW kit so I wouldn't have to deal with that shit because that's what drummers did. They just come in with these drum sets just sounded like absolute ass. And then they wonder why they aren't getting, the Black Album snare sound. It's like, well, because, that was an amazing sounding drum set in an amazing sounding room with amazing gear and you brought pots and pans. Would I make them take that all off? I'd make them change the heads out first and foremost. Well, that costs money, man. Yes, but you want your drums to sound good! It takes time and patience and effort to make your drums sound good in the studio, folks. First off, new skins. So basically what happened was I wound up buying a really nice studio kit in 2001 and I've still got that kit and I use it to this day. A few drummers have turned their nose up every now and then I could always just hit them back. What, DW Collector's Maple is somehow not good enough for you? Get fucked. Seriously, there's absolutely no reason why a drummer shouldn't be able to walk in on a studio kit, make a few adjustments and fucking just go. That's what makes a professional.
Hey Glenn, so I recently bought a starter bass kit. I'm initially a guitarist and vocalist, but because of you, various YouTubers, and some discussions with local guitar shops and musicians, I realized that playing bass or drums has a higher demand professionally and has a better chance at finding gigs. My plan is to learn on this basic kit and then upgrade the amp, get a DI interface, and finally get a better bass. Thanks Glenn, hopefully I won't suck.
Well, Steven, you know what? You're definitely not going to suck with an attitude like that. Good for you, man. That's the thing. Guitar players are a dime a dozen. Great guitar players are a dime a dozen. I mean, there's so many guys out there who can just shred fantastically. You know what? You're not going to stand out in the crowd. You have to be extra special, super fucking amazing to stand out on guitar these days. But you know what? A great bass player is worth his weight in gold. Seriously. If you can play bass well, you will have gigs for life. You will get studio work. You'll get session work. You're going to get all kinds of work because you're going to be in demand. Why? Because nobody fucking plays bass well. There's a lot of shitty bass players out there, but damn, they're great ones are so fucking rare. You know what? Go for it. Fucking work your ass off. Master the instrument, man. You're going to have an amazing career doing that. Best of luck to you. And for you guys out there who are unsure what instrument to learn, fucking learn bass and get good at it because the world needs more great bass players. Okay, everybody, that's it for this episode. Thank you so much to our sponsor, Xvive Wireless, for their amazing U3 wireless kit that I'm using here. Like I said, we've got the U3 right here plugged into a Neve 1073, an 1176, and an LA2A. It's kind of overkill, but hey, you know what? It works pretty damn well. And of course, we're using the Lewitt MTP 440 DM microphone. This thing's awesome on snare and guitars. Anyway, keep those comments and questions coming. Hit the poll, leave a comment down below. And like I said, if you're looking for programming work or marketing work, that kind of thing, please get in touch with us at Lancaster Audio because we'd love to hear from you. Anyway, thanks again for watching. You guys have an amazing weekend, and I will see you next time. Hey guys, if you liked the video, be sure to subscribe as I post every Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. If you want to learn more about recording, check out one of my tutorials or one of my gear reviews if you want the actual honest truth about a piece of equipment. Till next time, stay metal, my friends.